Core 4 Productions back with our second term of this first episode. Thank you for joining us. The topic at hand right now is Rasheed Wallace getting 2 technical fouls revoked yesterday by the NBA, allowing him to play tonight in Orlando. Kind of insignificant for the Pistons because they don't really need him.
I know, man. He used to be, just consistent every night, in and out. Give us 15 points. Now he's not even averaging 13 points. He's averaging, I think, 12.6.
And he shoots a lot of three-pointers too, especially down the stretch in games. And he's only shooting about 36%, which isn't bad for a power forward by any means, but he shoots too many of them.
Let's talk about why they revoked it.
Why they revoked it? Well, it says right here in the story by Keith Langlois, DetroitPistons.com, it says one of the technical fouls that was revoked was against Chicago in December 23rd and February 7th in Milwaukee. Now, these may have been reviewed by the NBA and determined not to be technical fouls or revoked. I mean, anytime you have a guy who gets 15 technical fouls in one season, they're going to take a little bit of a better look at him.
Yes,
and I think that's ultimately why they decided to rescind those fouls.
And next off, Hamilton not happy off the bench. I could really see why for being our team captain and he's sitting the bench. It makes a lot of sense, Curry. I cannot say I can't. It just really ticks me off when I think about this. I mean, he's our leading scorer. He's been ever since he came to the Pistons, and he decides to put him on the bench for someone that just came over, Allen Iverson, and he's flopping, and he still won't take him off.
Hamilton, a guy in a championship team that averaged about 20, 21 points a game, all of a sudden on the bench, which, I don't think there's too many players equivalent to Rip Hamilton's skill that are coming off the bench in the NBA, but still, I think you got to have a guy of his ability in the starting lineup. I don't think that it's an option to really have him off the bench. And time now for Around the NBA, all the NBA news you care about, here in one place. Marbury, headed out of New York, just signed with Boston today. What do you think about that?
Hold on, I want to conclude something right here. If the playoffs started right now,
we
would be playing Boston, and as you guys know, Boston kicks our ass.
That would be
every
an
time
ugly series. I don't think I would watch a game because if you watch Boston play Detroit this year, no competition, none.
The only good matchup I actually want to watch on here is Denver, New Orleans. They're all on the west side, and
right.
Lakers and Mavericks. That'd be pretty good.
Anyone can be anyone in the West.
Yeah, I know. And then East is so predictable. I mean, all right. Around the NBA. Let's get it going. Come on, let's get it going.
Stephon Marbury headed to Boston. What do you think about this for both the Celtics and the Knicks and their fans?
Fans, I think they're going to be happy with him. But, anybody that gets a tattoo on the side of their face turned out crappy. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. It's on their downspout. He's on his downspout. He's not going to upgrade. I really don't think he's going to do that much for the team. He might with scoring, but he's just a lower grade Allen Iverson with the mouthy attitude.
An interesting thought here is look at Randy Moss in the NFL. His career in Oakland was headed downhill. Came to Boston, revived things, almost won a Super Bowl, not quite. Set a lot of records in receiving though. So do you see the same thing here from Marbury?
Well, Moss has an actual personality that just fits his mentality. He goes night in, night out. He was consistent. I don't know. I just can't see it.
Moss doesn't win a ring in the NFL, and Marbury hasn't won in the NBA either. So I don't think, especially
Iverson hasn't won a ring.
That's true.
Yet they think they can bring him to the Pistons and we can win a ring.
And I don't think if they're bringing Marbury into Boston for a lot of minutes, I don't think that's going to happen because Rondo is clearly the young guy there.
He is clearly a better all-around player.
And David Lee of the Knicks made a comment. He said it's kind of a dead issue for the Knicks because he's been gone all season. What does it matter if
that's
he's officially gone now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the same thing with Stephen Francis. Francis. I heard about him in a trade with McGrady. When they traded, I haven't heard of him since. I don't even know what is he doing.
I have no idea.
When I would see the trade, I was just like, okay, what about him? I mean, he bought tickets to go see his game at Los Angeles. Why? That's just.
Guess if a man wants to buy a ticket, he can. But
yeah,
Also around the NBA, Gilbert Arenas starting to take on some fall practices here. He's coming off the last offseason where he signed a 6-year, $111 million contract, so there's obviously a lot of expectations there as far as the Washington organization goes.
I think he'll pull it out. He's an all-around good shooter. He's a top 3 shooter, I think, ever. I mean, in the NBA right now, if you put him in shooting-wise, clutch situation, him, Kobe, LeBron, and
definitely explosive scorer, that's for sure.
Goodness.
And
Open wide.
that's a Washington team that took Cleveland to the brink of elimination a few years ago, struggled last year a little bit, and now that Arenas is out, obviously having a terrible year, but I think they can look to turn that around once they get him back. I don't think it's going to happen this season, but you never know. Clippers upset the Celtics 2 nights ago, 93-91. Is this a fluke, or is this a sign of the Clippers' ability or the Celtics' ability?
Probably all around just bad game. You gotta understand, where was Garnett in this?
Garnett is out for 2 weeks
Okay,
with
well,
an injury.
there you see it. I mean,
Sprained knee.
it's a fluke.
Definitely, I would agree. Celtics did make a front court move. They brought in Mikey Moore, who was released from the Kings not too long ago.
That guy can play. That's all I can see. He puts an effort. Whenever he played Detroit, when he was with the Kings, I used to just hate him because he would scream up and down the court and he would run around just everywhere, scoring.
I think the dreadlocks might be some intimidation factor there.
Oh yeah.
He's also a good rebounder and a great hustle.
Ben Wallace. You see, he shaved his braids.
Ben Wallace did shave his braids.
What's
also
up?
broke his leg too.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we did see that limping around. He tried playing down there.
Tough man. Tried playing on a broken leg. Was going to be out though, 4 to 6
He
weeks.
should be playing football along with Jason Maxiell.
Jason Maxiell.
That is another rising star right
wide
there.
receiver. Jason Maxiell is a tight end.
He is a tight end. What is he? 6'8", 2. He used to weigh 240. He weighed 280, lost 40 pounds, weighs 240. Now he weighs 280 again.
That's all muscle too.
Oh my god.
All muscle. And tonight, Friday night, we have some NBA matchups for you.
Pick 'em.
We'll run through those. We have the Bulls at the Wizards. Who do you got?
I got the Wizards.
I'm liking the Bulls. I think Derrick Rose is going to go in there
Yes.
and take the energy out of the building early.
Jameson, I gotta go with him.
And Detroit at Orlando. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I'll take the Magic there.
Yep, that's a double explanatory here.
I would say 12 to 15 points there for the Magic. Margin of victory tonight.
Yes, very much so.
76ers at Knicks.
Although we do have a lot of luck against Magic.
That's true. We have beat them this season with the same guys we have now. 76ers at Knicks. Knicks, pretty good team at home. What do you
That's
think about
true.
this one?
76 are gonna blow him up. Iguodala's just gonna go nuts on little Nate Robinson. He should have not. As a matter of fact, he should have not won that slam dunk. The only reason why he won that is because my man Howard let him jump over him. That is the only reason whatsoever.
Well, that and his last dunk attempt where he tried to dunk from the free throw line.
That was weak.
He didn't even dunk from the free throw line. He took a step in. So
I think he could have dunked higher personally when he raised up to 12. He could have easily dunked 15.
He said he
I
could
could
dunk
see
13.
him. I could see him 15.
15 feet.
Give him